Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News, some latest events in Tay Ninh province. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning, August 13, prior to the epidemic situation in Tay Ninh, the Bronzo Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control held an online meeting with the Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control of district, town, and city to focus on implementing sampling for reinstating on the Bronzo scale. Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Deputy Secretary of the Bronzo Party Committee, Chairman of the Bronzo People Committee of Tay Ninh Province, and head up the Bronzo Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control. Preside over the conference, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Bronzo Party Committee and Chairman of the Bronzo People Council, was present and directing.
One of the current major responsibilities of the province anti-epidemic efforts is to secure and increase the province's safe green zone, cut off the source of infection in the province to proactively detect and swiftly isolate the F0 from the community. The Provincial People's Committee and the Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control went to arrange provincial SARS-CoV-2 screening tests. There's been a lot of inaccurate information in the society and the community, and which has caused some people to worry and focus on stopping increasing congestion and hurting the province's pandemic prevention and control. Standing Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Duong Minh Chau stated that in several localities would conduct sampling from August the 15th, particularly on August the 13th and 14th. That is the time for the localities to declare the precise day and time that will be sampled. The people will not leave their house during the screening period, which lasts for 36 hours, unless it is absolutely necessary to minimize the spread of the disease. Following the receipt of the Provincial People's Committee and Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control guiding letter, localities are continuing to develop plans with priority given to communes and wards in the red and orange zone. It's been very high-risk and high-risk areas. In conclusion, the People Committee Chairman Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc advised that the communities create precise and thorough sample and screening strategies, use effective sampling procedures, and assign particular duties. Announcement on time and quick implementation. When the findings are obtained, it is critical to establish the epidemic level in the area very once in order to take proper management action. In the same way as if there is a green zone, there's strategy in place to maintain and keep it secure. Moreover, move the orange zones and yellow zone to a green zone as quickly as possible to prevent the illness from spreading to other places, and the red zone must be maintained, cleansed, and constantly monitored. The local authorities also collaborate with functional areas to monitor information developments on social networks as well as to avoid the arrest misleading information cause public misunderstanding. Strengthen goods inspection, ensure the interchange and circulation of products, implement distance and markets and shopping centers to discourage people from congregating in this location.
Mr. Duong Minh Chau, Standing Vice Chairman of the Bronzo People Committee and Standing Deputy Head of the Bronzo Steering Committee for Epidemic Prevention and Control, held a working session on August 13 and awarded merit certificate to medical experts in Bắc Giang Province for completing the work time to support epidemic prevention in Tay Ninh.
Previously, in accordance with the exchange and agreement between Tay Ninh and Bắc Giang provinces, the Department of Health in Bắc Giang province dispatched about 5 medical professionals in charge of COVID-19 pandemic prevention to assist Tay Ninh province in the near future. During 30 days beginning on July the 15th of 2021, the province will be responsible for pandemic prevention and control. During the period, the medical expert delegation assisted the Tay Ninh health sector in strengthening testing capacity, determining the source of infection, sharing and directing with the Tay Ninh health sector in particular to install and create environment for transferring SARS-CoV-2 virus on site and serving the testing. On behalf of the Tay Ninh province, the Standing Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Duong Minh Chau thanks the medical experts in particular, as well as the force and the love of Bắc Giang provinces to help Tay Ninh share the difficulties in pandemic prevention and control in the province. At the same time, he also recognized the efforts and the services of medical specialists throughout the Tay Ninh support period. On this occasion, the Provincial People's Committee also presented certificates of merit to Bắc Giang Province Collective Health Sector and 5 individual medical experts for their contribution and collaboration with Tay Ninh in the prevention of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Steering Committee for COVID-19 Prevention and Control of Duong Minh Chau District, at the end of August the 12th, the entire district has injected about over 14 doses of COVID-19 vaccines compared to the injection plans set objective about 12,000 doses. The district strength reached about 110%. Duong Minh Chau District also arranged support immunization against COVID-19 for communes and municipalities on August 11th and 12th. Following receipt of the vaccines from the province, the district allocated the necessary quantity of vaccination depending on the pandemic condition in each location.
Dear audience, in order to expedite the immunization schedule against COVID-19 for the people, Tay Ninh City Medical Center has made significant effort and deployed all resources to focus on training. Vaccination rates have improved in recent years, and the number of individuals immunized every day has grown.
At present, the number of COVID-19 immunization stations in the city has been expanded, including locations such as Tom Tất Tùng Primary School in Ward number 4, Kim Dong Primary School in Ward number 2, and Medical Station of Ward number 3. The City Health Center has also mobilized the maximum number of medical staff as well as volunteers to participate in the vaccination work, so that the number of people vaccinated during the day has increased significantly from 200 people per day in the early days to 800 people per day now, and is expected to increase further in the near future. According to the City Health Sector, only 80% of those who come to inject get given injections, since many people have to postpone injections owing to underlying illnesses or being treated with medicines. On the morning of August 13, 2021, the 1st Infantry Company under the military command of Duong Minh Chau District conducted Zero Vietnam Dong Boost sharing love, warm love of the army and the people in order to promote the movement of joining hands to share problems with those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Infantry Company 1 has presented 60 gifts totaling about 15 million Vietnam dong to the residents of Hoi An Hamlet, Tân Hội Commune, Duong Minh Chau District, in bamboo suit, vegetables, tubers and fruits, etc. When the district military command mobilized the tenant traffic rescue team to sponsor fresh vegetables and fruits, the unit quickly handed them to the people. And since the outbreaks of the pandemic, in addition to the Zero Vietnam Dong Boost concept, the district military command has taken funds from the budget to enhance production of the unit. The source of mobilizing organizations, individuals, and coordinated with local mass organizations to organize night about Zero Vietnam Dong Boost with more than 30 tons of food and necessaries, with a total value of over 200 million Vietnam dong to support the people in the district and Bình Dương province as well as Ho Chi Minh City.
Ladies and gentlemen, the complex evolution of the COVID-19 pandemic has had an impact on people's lives in general, and individuals in blockade regions in particular. The Roman Union and the military command of Hoa Thanh Thao have collaborated to organize sponsors to support agricultural goods, basic requirements to have families in blockade region, isolated area, and many more vital.
Immediately following the implementation of the social distancing in accordance with Directive No. 16, the Women's Union and Military Command of Hoa Thanh Thao recruited donors, purchased agricultural goods in the region, boost encouraged farmer output to ensure the food supply for those in need. Daily Zero Vietnam Dong Boost to go from the town's Women's Union headquarters to block its region isolation zones, hostile epidemic prevention and control sites, and the certain addresses of the affected people of the pandemic, and nearly 1,000 people in about 25 various locations of particular significance since they provide timely requirements necessities. Over the last 3 weeks, the two units have transported loads from vegetables, rice, bread, eggs, medical supplies, and varieties of other essentials to those in need. And furthermore, the women unions at commune and world level actively mobilize donors to support and food trucks to available to help the people every day. For more than 3 weeks, the two levels of women unions and the military command of Hoa Thanh Thao have maintained a regular bus excursion to assist residents here. These events do not always receive timely funding from sponsors. At times, members, officers, and soldiers have also volunteered to give within their capacity in order to help this activity ongoing until the implementation of Directive number 16 comes to an end. Recently, the town military command has also mobilized the sponsors to work with women union and the town's youth union to organize a Zero Vietnam Don't Put, a precise labeling birth right to serve the quarantine area anti-pandemic affecting checkpoint. We want to ensure that you stay in a place during this time of implementing the social distancing and make certain that no one goes hungry or get hungry throughout the quarantine period. And at the same time, the town military command plan a visit to present gifts to residents in the remote of Long Thành Bắc region and the Bao Nang area approaching the Duong Minh Chau area. We are also faced numerous hardships also. It is close to the both end, so the people will make attention to help them during the quarantine time. With these activities, the armies and the people of faction has brought, and residents of Hoa Thanh town have pledged to follow the pandemic prevention and control right to the regulation.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.